for relationship with God. You have stayed so long in a place and you know everything about that place. You don't need GPS anymore. You know what goes on. You know who is there. You know. And I have a long list. Every time you are tired enough of where you are, you need a divine turnaround. Sometimes we are not tired enough. We've all become managers. How are you doing? We are managing. How is your health? We are managing. How about your finances? How about your children? Family? We are managing. Every time you are living the managing life, because the plan of God for you is not to manage, is to excel. The DNA that is inside of you is the DNA of dominion. You are to feel everywhere that you go. That's what the Bible says. He didn't tell you to manage. Your Father owns everything that you can see. Every time your life has been condemned to a status quo, you need to turn around. You need to turn around. The Lord began to lay it in my heart. There are many people with big dreams in this church. And I believe in this season, God will take you from the level of dream to a season of performance. Yeah. Don't give up. You have these great desires. Some of you have proposals that you have written, prayer points, that you say, God, I know, I trust you, you're going to do this for me. Don't give up on God, don't give up on yourself. This weekend, this program had been organized with you in mind. It is your turn to encounter a miracle. I know you have tried so hard. You have worked so hard. You have prayed so hard. But the Bible says the battle is not to the strong. The race is not to the swift. The ones that are victorious are not the politicians. The ones that know it all and have it all are not the billionaires. There is something called grace. It is an everlasting, international, non-depreciating currency. Grace cures cancer. Grace settles poverty. Grace heals the disease. Grace restores. You need that grace, and I am praying for you tonight that grace for a divine turnaround will hit you where you are. Will hit your family where you are. Will hit your ministry where you are. And your life will not be the same again. Jesus' name. I want you to have your seat. We just read from the book of 2 Kings chapter 4. And of course you know this story so well. If you have been born again, been in church for 1 or 2 years, somebody must have spoken to you about a woman whose husband, by the way, happened to be a servant to Elisha. The husband of this woman, as recorded in the Bible, was the servant of the national prophet. Such highly placed woman. How did I know? Because that's what she said. He said, man of God, you know your servant, the one that used to serve you, my husband, you know he's dead, right? Elisha said yes. But he said the problem is, before he died, he borrowed a lot of money and then he used our 2 sons as collateral. I wouldn't go into the story because it's a very scary story. As a matter of fact, this is very unusual. You don't do stuff like that in the kind of days that we are in. But in those days, creditors are allowed. And what creditors will do, they will take those 2 sons and then they will make them work so hard to pay for all what their papa owed. And if they are not able to work and pay for it till they die, that's it. They are slaves forever. So just in your mind, think about when this man died. This man that was a servant to a prophet, this man that goes to church every Sunday, this man that knows the scriptures more than you do, this man that lived a life to play. Think about when he died and everyone came and they were consoling this woman. And then this day was drawing near, little by little, and then that same season, she cried out, help me! The creditors are coming. There are some embarrassing situations that the government cannot fix. There are some urgent situations that your 401k, the great retirement plan that you have, they don't have what it takes to solve those kind of problems. Oh, there are some accidents in life that GICC cannot cover. It will take God. There are situations in life that cannot respond to anything but the divine grace and mercy of Jehovah. And so when we look at this situation, everything was in a mess. This situation needed nothing but a turnaround. Now, Pastor Shiju is more experienced in this. How do you counsel a woman that they told her 2 days from now, the creditors are coming, we are coming to take your 2 sons? How do you, just help me out. And that is where the work of a pastor becomes. How do you counsel that man? Do you tell him about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob? Or do you tell him about Bartholomew, Judas? How do you start? How do you start? Like I tell people, to the glory of God, have been pastoring for a while, and one of the temptations is that people think you know it all. You have answer to everything. There are times when we are going to visit people, especially people who have suffered the loss, and my wife will say, so when we get there, what are we going to say? I say, I don't know. But let's just go. Pastors don't know everything.